Do you want to heal old wounds and toxic relationships and reclaim your power? Stay tuned because it's time to cut those cords. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Kamona Therapy, Healing Beyond the Veil. This week's message and ritual to process life. My name is Christina B. I'm your host, your psychotherapist, and your Reiki master here to assist you on your healing journey. And this week's message is cord cutting for empaths, all right? To release what is no longer yours to carry. So, when it comes to cord cutting, you're probably thinking, what is she talking about? Before I get into the cord cutting, I want to share a quick little story with you. I was adopted. So coming into this world, I already came in with a huge wound. And that wound was not having a mother or father. I was basically relinquished, put into the Children's Aid Society, and I was on my own there for a period of time as a baby and an infant before I actually got adopted. So I already came into this world with a wound. And my wound happened to be my sacral chakra, my sexuality, not sex, but who I am. And I spent a majority of my life trying to reach out and find that connection. And what I had found was that I was always looking for a connection, but it ended up being an unhealthy connection each and every single time because I didn't have that motherly connection, that fatherly connection, those parental connections. And so what ended up happening was I created unhealthy connections because I didn't have something to compare it to, basically. So, after having gone through wounded relationships, toxic relationships, I learned and discovered the art of cord cutting. Now, my cord, I didn't have to cut it, but in the unhealthy relationships, I did have to cut it. Now, the best way I can describe on an energetic level for empaths, cord cutting, again, empaths who have that extreme sensitivity, we end up taking on the emotions of others. And what ends up happening is, again, I've shared this in previous videos. When a child is born and comes out of the womb, there's that it's not invisible. There's an umbilical cord there, and the doctor cuts it. What do we do growing up? We create these invisible umbilical cords. And my sacral was like flying around everywhere, trying to connect and create a healthy connection. And I had unhealthy connections, which created wounds, toxic relationships, and so on and so forth. And the chakras are, the umbilical cords are connected to our chakras. And so if you are having a repetitive pattern of the same issue coming up in relationships, or you're having the same problem with someone in your family or a friend, it is likely that you have an unhealthy connection because of an old wound. So why is it important to cut cords? Because what happens is we end up repeating the same lesson over and over and over again. I got sick and tired of it. I learned, it took me a while to figure out, how am I going to heal these? This is a really strong, basic way to heal those unhealthy relationships and reclaim your power. So, For me, it was my sacral chakra flapping in the wind. I was trying to find a healthy connection. But what I had to do with my cord was I had to literally focus on healing it and bringing it close to my body, and then start creating healthy connections with other people's. So again, being an empath, mirror neuron, I had discussed that before, affects our central nervous system. When we come in this world with traumas and wounds, we have that issue there. So how do we cord cut? This is a very deep transformational process that you can go through. If you want to, if you know the wound that you have and you want to heal it, you can email me at kamonatherapy@gmail.com. Otherwise, in the meantime, if you already know, like let's say you've had an emotionally abusive relationship over and over and over again, it's your heart chakra. So what you want to do is you want to take a moment to meditate, close your eyes, focus on your heart, and ask to be guided. Where is it connected to the other person? We often think it's connected to the same chakra, but my experience and my clients' experiences have been it's going to be connected somewhere else. It might be the heart to heart, but it could be heart to head. That person could be using their power, their intuition against you. And then you want to see how thick is the cord. It could be paper thin and it just needs a little snip of the scissor. You don't want to snip it close unless you feel drawn to snipping it close. You're going to want to cut it. I've seen some that are so thick, someone's had to cut it with a saw. That's how old the wound is. So if you want to reclaim your power and you want to stop repeating old wounds and old patterns and toxic relationships as an empath, it is essential that you cut those cords. All right, let's take a moment. Take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so you don't miss the Healing Beyond the Veil weekly messages, okay? Comment below, you're an empath. Email me at kamonatherapy@gmail.com if you want to start cutting those cords, okay? I'm telling you, it is transformational. It was for me as well as my clients, okay? Namaste. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.